So syndication is an SEC regulated offering. So it is a security, which means that the SEC, you've actually got to report to the SEC, and there are a lot of guidelines that you have to follow. So highly recommend before you ever do your first syndication, go out and find a syndication attorney that can walk you through that process, because there are several things that several lines you do not want to cross when it comes to that, because if you do, it could open you up to personal liability for anything that happens on the property, which you never want to have happen, because that could literally and financially ruin you. But also, you want to make sure that you're doing right by your investors, right? So there's two primary types of syndication. There's a 506B and a 506C. So a 506B is friends and family. That means as long as we have a pre-existing relationship, I can take money from you. Now, there's no real definition as to what a pre-existing relationship is. Is it we had coffee 5 years ago, or you've been my best friend for 20 years? It just can't be like, hey, I met you while we had this offering open, throw me some money. Before you take that offering live, you have to have a pre-existing relationship. So what I do to get around that is every investor, anybody that's potentially interested in investing with me, I get them on the calendar and I keep a record that we have met, right? So I always save their number in my phone. I save, how we met, where we met, make sure that that's on my calendar, whether that's a 30-minute phone call, 15-minute phone call, coffee, lunch, drinks, doesn't matter. I always want to make sure that I have that pre-existing relationship. That's also important for you as well, because you want to know if the person that's going to be giving you money is going to be a total pain in the ass when it comes to this deal, right? Because if they're asking all of these questions and you can clearly tell they don't know anything about real estate investing, one, that's not somebody that you should be taking in your offering. But two, they're going to be the person that emails you every week asking what's going on. And I tell all of my investors up front, like, you're welcome to call me anytime, but just understand that if you do that, that's taking away from all of the time that I'm going to be spending on the project making it work, and we will get monthly and quarterly updates out to you as needed, right? So just set it and forget it. It's going to happen. So the important part about a 506B is that you don't have to be an accredited investor to give money to a 506B offering. You can take money, again, from anybody, as long as you have that pre-existing relationship. Now, the one drawback is that you cannot go out and market that offering. You can't share it on Instagram. You can't do a YouTube video about it. You can't do Facebook ads for it. It has to be somebody that's on your email list or somebody that you call, text, somebody that's already in your network. Now, a 506C offering is typically what you'll see on all the crowdfunding sites, right? Have you ever gotten onto Facebook and there's always an ad for an 18 IRR self-storage deal in Iowa, right? That's what's called a 506C offering. And they're able to market that to you because they can only take accredited investors. Does everybody know what an accredited investor is? Yeah, okay, for the most part. Yeah, so an accredited investor is somebody with a net worth of $1 million or more. And they make $250,000 or they make $250,000 a year, or I think it's $350,000 a year as a couple. Yeah, 200, 300. Okay, 200, 300. I'm sorry? Either or. You don't have to have both. Yeah. Yeah, because somebody can make $200,000 a year and spend it all. So that's what qualifies you as an accredited investor. So I could still take friends and family into those deals. I could still have a pre-existing relationship with them, but they have to meet that criteria. And there are third-party websites out there that verify that criteria for you. I highly recommend, I don't know them off the top of my head, but I do highly recommend using those websites to have their accreditation verified, because then the liability is on them and not on you. And you have no idea if you can verify whether that person's income is true or whether their net worth is true. So I always recommend using a third-party platform to check the accreditation status.